It's Blaze, and today I am doing my Halloween Get Ready With Me that I do every year. I'll link a playlist down below of all my previous ones. And as always, I am doing a costume based on something to do with my Lord and Savior, Edgar Allan Poe. Oh, girl, Rosalind, you all right? She's all right. Wearing a new shirt that I got from Spirit Halloween. It has Ghostface on it. And it says, let's watch scary movies. Because, yes, all the time. What I have chosen to do this year is Murders in the Rue Morgue. I have been wanting to do Murders in the Rue Morgue for years, but I haven't been able to because A, money, and B, I did not know how I wanted to go about it. This year, I think I'm pulling it off. Then this one, just like my Annabelle Lee costume, is based on 19th century women where makeup really wasn't acceptable or accepted. So I'm gonna kind of just do a no makeup look. And women did wear makeup. Some women did wear makeup back then. They just were very, very discreet about it. You kind of couldn't tell they were wearing makeup. But I'm gonna do the best I can. And every year, if there is a story behind it that I can actually go into, I go into the story that or poem that I go into. That I'm doing for Halloween. I haven't slept a minute. Can you tell? Can you tell I haven't slept? Let's get into it. For foundation, I'm just using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector. It's not even really foundation, but it's similar to foundation, which is perfect for this time. This time period. So just a little backstory. Murders in the Rue Morgue was the first published detective story ever in the history of ever. It was published in April 1841. There would be no Sherlock Holmes without Murders in the Rue Morgue. Actually, Sherlock Holmes was inspired by this. In fact, Sherlock Holmes is basically kind of a ripoff of Detective Dupin, which is the detective in this story. If you happen to be a fan of Sherlock Holmes, you have Murders in the Rue Morgue to thank for that. So I'm going to be looking down at my notes because I don't want to forget anything, so I typed up some notes on here. The story begins in 19th century France, where explains that Detective C. Auguste Dupin is a brilliant detective. He's able to solve cases like nobody else, but he's not very well liked by the police department. They just don't like getting shown up by him because, like, he knows how to solve cases they can't, and they're like, ew, bitch. The narrator, which has no name, because of course I always pick the things that have narrators with no names, befriends C. Auguste Dupin over a really good game of chess and a nice stroll through the park. So they become kind of besties and roommates and his quote-unquote like sidekick. I'm taking the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Concealer. So very reluctantly, the police chief wants C. Auguste Dupin, Detective C. Auguste Dupin, to get involved in a murder case that had just happened because him and his guys can't figure out what happened. And these were some brutal ass murders. These were a pair of double murders in the Rue Morgue, which is a fictional place in France. Murders were that of Madame L'Espanaye, who I am being today, and her daughter Camille. Madame L'Espanaye was decapitated and thrown out of a window. I don't know if it was like a second story or third story because they were wealthy. And Camille was beaten very badly and shoved up a chimney. For some rouge, I'm going to do some light rouge. Well, it's going to look lighter once I put powder on. I'm using the Babyface Multi-Use Cream Stick from MC Beauty or MCO Beauty in Lulu. I don't know, guys. There was absolutely no money taken, which leads, police and Detective Dupin to believe this absolutely was not for money. Everyone was baffled by these murders and very much affected. So C. Auguste Dupont, I'm not going to call him detective every single time, I'll just call him C. Auguste Dupont, or just Dupont, interviews witnesses. Now, they didn't witness the murders, but they heard them. And everyone was consistent with saying there were two distinct voices. One of them did indeed speak French, and the other one spoke a different language. They don't know. No, there was one person who said that they spoke Spanish. The other one said they spoke Italian or German. So the eyewitnesses weren't really getting them anywhere. And Detective C. Auguste Dupont was getting personally involved because they arrested his friend Adolphe Lebon. Now, it's spelled Adolphe, but pronounced Adolphe, okay? Put a little bit more rouge on. He was wrongfully arrested, so Detective Dupont wanted to very much solve this case so he can clear his friend's name. The CoverGirl Clean Fresh Pressed Powder now. So what was also baffling police, and at first Dupont, is that there was no like forced entry. There was no sign of forced entry, and there was no sign of a way for the killer to have escaped or even come in. Nothing was making any sense. Now, with Dupont being as good as he is, he deducts and sees a lock mechanism on the window, which the killer probably used to break in and get out. So this was not your average killer. He also noticed that in Madame L'Espinay's hand was a tuft of non-human hair. What? They didn't own a cat or a dog or anything. So this was highly unusual. I have to do some kind of brows that look like they were from back then with these little nubs. So I'm going to do that off camera since I can't talk and do that at the same time. I can't even do my eyebrows, period. That's about as good as we're going to get. Brutal way that these murders were done, and finding that tuft of hair, non-human hair, on Madame L'Espinay led Dupont to believe that this murder was done by an animal, not a human being. He had heard that a sailor down by the docks was indeed in possession of an orangutan. So he goes to question him, and immediately, without any hesitation, he confesses and says that it was indeed his orangutan, that a couple of days ago he went insane and stole a razor. And he caught him sneaking out. He followed him, went to the murders of the Rue Morgue, or went to the Rue Morgue, and saw that he caught him in the middle of killing Madame L'Espinay and her daughter Camille. He didn't do any of the murdering himself. He was trying to get him to stop, and he couldn't. And that was the voice, at least one of the voices that I guess the eyewitnesses heard. But like, what was the other voice? Does the orangutan speak Spanish or German or Italian? I don't know. They never discovered the second voice thing. They just, I don't know. That's kind of a whole plot hole in the story, isn't it? I guess it's kind of showing that like witnesses can't always be trusted. I'm gonna put a little kind of natural lip going on. This is the Italia lip liner in terracotta. So that was it. Dupont solved the case. The police department applauded him for it, and the police chief was kind of like, of course this bitch solved it and I couldn't. What a motherfucker. Hi Dex, what are you doing in here? This is just a hydrating lipstick that I got from Dollar Tree forever ago. It's like one of my favorite lipsticks to wear when I'm just not in a makeup mood. It's like very nourishing, very hydrating. It just has a little tint to it. just like that. That, in a nutshell, was the Murders in the Rue Morgue. For the rest of this, I'm going to have to get out of this shirt and into my gown that I got for this, because I'm going to be doing some fake blood on my neck, and I don't want it to stain my brand new pretty shirt. So when you see me again, I'll be in my gown, but not my full costume yet. This gown is beautiful, but bitch, it is heavy and hard to get on. I don't know why. I'll show you the full gown when we are all finished. So I gotta look like I've been decapitated. So we're gonna do this from here. So now is the part of the video that I tell you my favorite and least favorite horror movies that I watched for 31 Days of Horror that were either new or new to me. Number one best, I'm probably gonna say, was The Lost Boys. I know if you guys watched my Spirit Halloween haul, I promised that I was going to watch it for 31 Days of Horror this year, and I did. I even paid to rent it. God, it's such a good movie, and it's really freaking sexy movie too. Oh God, the guys in that movie are just finger looking good. It's just so funny. It's a really funny movie and just fun movie, and I very, very much enjoyed it. I don't know why I didn't watch the Lost Boys earlier in my life. I just always was like, I'll get around to it, and I never got around to it, and I'm finally got around to it, and I'm happy I did. Now it's time for some fake blood action. I don't exactly know how I'm going to be going about this, so we're just going to fuck around and find out. The second movie would be What You Wish For. And not just because it's starring Nick Stahl, who's one of my favorites. It is more of a thriller, and it really is one of the most thrilling thrillers I've ever watched. I was like shocked for the first shocker, like I went, whoa, what the fuck? The whole movie was just done so well, and it's a great movie to watch if you're more into like thrillers and not horrors. Haunting of Hill House. I've watched the first 2 episodes in the past, and I got distracted again and just said I'll get around to it, and never did. I don't know why, but Mama Blaze and I watched it together, and we loved it. Ooh, this is looking good. We got some blood drips going on. Unintentional blood drips. Now I gotta do some intentional blood drips going on, because I got my head cut off. Ooh. I was gonna get this gown in a beige, but then I realized, hey, I'm gonna be having fake blood, and I don't want to ruin a really expensive gown. For me, this is expensive. Last movie would be Apartment 7A. It just came out this year, and it's based on Rosemary's Baby, her next door neighbor that's in Rosemary's Baby who unalived herself. So you get her story. It was so artistically and well done. I don't know how that wasn't in theaters and it was straight to streaming, because it should have been a theatrical movie. It was so good. First ones now, the Salem's Lot remake. First of all, didn't need to be done. Second of all, you did it really shitty, and I'm not the only one. There are so many bad reviews for it. Terrible, awful movie. Hold your breath. Hold on up. How are you gonna do Sarah Paulson like that? She is an amazing actress. She's one of my favorites, and she did not belong in this piece of shit movie. Again, another new one. Shadow Lake looked like it had potential, but it was just too not structured well, and I really didn't enjoy it. Neither did Mama Blaze. Now, I have mixed feelings. I don't know if I absolutely hated this movie. It's only 29 minutes long, so I don't know if I absolutely hated it or have some real appreciation towards it, but I thought it was done by like a high school, it looks like a high school horror movie, short horror movie, that Tony Todd and Corey Feldman got wrapped up in. I don't know how they got them, but it was done by Corman, so he's a distinguished director. I don't know why the quality is the way maybe it's intentionally supposed to be that way. I don't know. If you have Netflix, you can go ahead and watch it if you want like a gory, stupid, horribly acted horror movie, gory horror movie for 29 minutes. If you don't have time to watch a whole horror movie, I guess I would say go watch it. I'm not entirely sure. And lastly, the really, really bad one, which sucks because it has some good actors in it, was called All Fun and Games. And how and they did like the Salem witch trials bad as well. How y'all gonna do that? Why y'all gonna do that? I fell asleep twice. Just like I did with Friendship Game. Last year was on the list of one of the worst. I fell asleep twice. This is my wig for this costume. My father calls me Maud in it because he thinks I look like an old woman. But like, this is a 19th century French wig, guys. Look at how cute that is. Or pretty. Ooh. Ooh. I'm feeling myself. So got some accessories for myself. So these are the earrings that I'm going to be wearing. I know that they don't really, I don't know if they match the 1800s, but I thought that I've never worn these before, and I thought that these looked cool, like they would go well with this outfit. So I think these belonged to my grandmother at one point. She just had like a whole bunch of unopened jewelry. So I just took some that I liked and steal it from her. She was dead, and my father went and got some of her stuff and brought it home a couple years ago. I documented it on my channel, and a lot of her stuff I liked, so I kept some of it. And I got these gloves that look really pretty, like that. And they have the thing on the thumb and index finger, so you can touch your phone. Like, it's one of those touch things. But look, yes, we are all French gothed out. So what movies did you guys watch this year, if any? Which ones did you like? Which ones did you not like? Please let me know. This is my outfit. I'll insert either pictures or a video of the full outfit because I can't show you when I'm on my bed. But this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope I gave you guys some fun little murders of Rue Morgue story time telling. These blood drips are so cool. They are everything, especially against the white wig. Hell yeah. Hope you guys had a happy Halloween and stayed safe, but you know, rocked out. Did you guys dress up this year? And if you have, tell me down below what you dressed up as. Tag me in your photos on Instagram or whatever. All my social medias are linked down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want to and you haven't already, please go down below, hit the subscribe button and subscribe to this channel right now and become a Blaizer and a part of the Blaize Nation. We'd love to have you here as long as you're as wicked as we are. This kind of takes away from the effect of being the 1800s, but it's practical. All right, I will speak to you guys soon. And until next time, my bloody ones. Stay wicked.